mentioned Ratchetdemic, and that's the next thing I wanted to ask you about. And again, we're big fans of that one. We read it all together also.
Okay.
In Ratchetdemic, you made a statement that really stood out to me. If there is no recognition of how students have come to have a disdain for schools, there is no way we can create schools that they love and that love them. How can we work on making this change?
You know, look, it's become a four-letter word in education in a negative way. But I always say this is one of the quotes that people love the most from when I meet with them, and I say, teaching without love is just talking. You know, if there's no feeling for the person, if there's no desire to see the best in them and want the best for them, then it's just literally just having people in the room and you talking to them. Like, and so love is the anchor of all of this. And what I was trying to say in Ratchetdemic is that in the absence of love, we have a maintaining of a system that has fashioned itself to hate, to not love. If you don't infuse love into the system as it exists, you reinforce the biases that you inherit from its past. I mean, we could talk about it. This is a school system that was intentional about saying, you're not smart enough, we don't want you here. We don't want you around the people that we think are valuable. We don't like, it's set. So you don't erase the past. You will always inherit it. Expressing genuine love for students and the content is the only way that you erase, at least attempt to begin a confronting of a history of oppression that is a part of the school system. And, you know, when I say this, people don't like to hear it, you know, because it hurts people's feelings. But you look, schools break children. They come out of school and say, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I never want to go back, I'll find something else to do with my life. And then they say those things over the lives of their children. They're generations of unresolved and unreconciled hurt and brokenness. And you got to face that first if you want to do better. And that's all I try to get at Ratchetdemic. And, you know, Ratchetdemic is like, again, it's like an education that's from the people for the people. It's not saying just be ratchet, do what you want. It's say we are ratchet and academic, right? We're mathematicians, we're scientists, we're deep thinkers, we're critical thinkers. We're also who we are. And to be Ratchetdemic is to be able to say, in a system that says who you are is less than, bring who you are and be greater than. And I think that's the only path forward. We need Ratchetdemic educators. We need Ratchetdemic children. We need Ratchetdemic principals and school leaders. And you know why? Because we exist in a Ratchetdemic world. We're in a world now where people who hold the highest seats in the land, they're just themselves. And they're given a license to do so. And being themselves is sometimes being horrible people. I hate to say this. We got a ratchet government. We have elected officials who literally will spew hate from Congress and do so without apology, and they're themselves. Well, if we are in communities and we have a heart of good and love and beauty, and we are hiding who we are, we allow folks who are who they are with hatred to win. We must be who we are with radical love. We must be who we are with high expectations for our babies. We must be who we are and academic and intellectual. And it's the only way that you can subvert a system that says only those people who hate people can be who they are. No, we can be who we are in love. We can be who we are and be smart and be brilliant. We can be who we are and transform classrooms. And that's the premise that undergirds that philosophy of Ratchetdemic.
Beautiful. I love that. We are being who we are.
That's
and we
right.
also had lots of things where we feel like sometimes people don't like hearing what we have to say about those things.
Listen, sister, let me tell you something. I was at a conference once when I was talking to a bunch of educators who were in the California area, and a Latina sister came up to me and she goes, Dr. Emdin, like thank you for giving me permission to be academic. I never saw myself as a scholar. And now I put the chola in scholar. And I was like,
yes.
let me tell you what that means to me. That for the first time ever, she can bring her full chola self to being an intellectual. At that point, there's nothing she can't do. I don't want that for all of our babies. I want our Black babies to be like, you know what? Like, yo, I'm gangster, but I'm a gangster-demic. Not gangster in a violent gangster. I'm gangster in that, like, I represent for my hood, I represent for my family, I represent for my culture, and I'm the most smart person in the room, and I read books, and I want to get a college degree, and I love math. Like, that's what I want. I want folks to be able to show up with their full, whole, beautiful, and magical selves and learn. You know what I mean? That's the goal.
Absolutely. And our teachers need to be allowed to do that.
Yes.
So that our kids, our students know that they can be who they are authentically everywhere that they are.